Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased technical analysis and price action analysis, okay? And look at this, guys, we got big update. We cleared that 390 level, which made Uncle Charles bullish, but not just because we cleared the 390 level, but also because yesterday we back tested a critical support level which we broke out last Friday, back tested as a support yesterday. So we had a role reversal where we cleared 386, which was a resistant, and then that resistant becomes support, cleared 390, and we got some nice follow through today. However, guys, no coincidence where the SPY paused that, okay? From October low to December high, we got this 23.6 fib level at 395.77, and also CPI in the morning. And as usual, Uncle is going to talk about how I traded today for educational purposes, so hopefully you guys can pick some things up for your own trades, and also my plan of action for tomorrow. Let's prepare. So here's the 15-minute chart, which is usually where I execute my trades. Market opened pretty choppy in the morning. Okay, I had a 393.5 level. I took out the level, but I had a 393.5 level. However, the market had other plans, okay? It didn't really respect my 393 level much, but intraday, we noticed that the 393 level, however, was being a lot more respected, okay? And so, you know, you got to be nimble in this market. I try to come up with these levels beforehand, but then when the market acts like this, where it's showing us reasons to choose another level or come up with another level, we got to adapt. So yeah, I had this 393 level, was alerted in the group, watched that 393 level and watched the 292 level, okay, because it was chopping in the morning, and finally got the breakdown right here at 10:45 on a 10:45 candle. Alerted to the group to look to short with 391.5 in the back test of 390 in play. We only got, it dropped as low as 391.38. We got some buying pressure from the 391.5 support that I had. Not a big move, but, you know, level to level. Sometimes the levels that I come up with, they're just close together. If SPY would have dropped below 391.5, I would have definitely looked for puts, but in this case, it wasn't much of a move. However, you guys know my favorite trade setups are the false breakouts and the false breakdown setups. And we had a false breakdown right here, which was alerted in the group. Wrote right here. 392 recaptured on the 15-minute chart. 393, 393.5, and 395 is back in play. So when do we look for calls? When do we look to long? When resistance clears, or when we get a false breakdown setup. And that's what it was. However, I'll be honest with you guys, I actually missed this entry right here. But when you miss one entry, what do? You wait to catch the next one. And I had a level at 393. Boom! Caught the 393. I missed the false breakdown, but caught the 393. You guys can see here, it, back tested as a support, respected it. But overall, it smashed the 393.5 level, and towards the end of the day, finally hitting the 395 level. So, not a bad trading day for me overall. I sized down a lot thinking we was going to get some chop today, but, I'm glad to see we didn't, okay? And that takes us to the daily chart. We got CPI tomorrow. Expectation is 7.5, okay? Sometimes some people will tell you that if it comes higher than expected, and I'll say that as well, usually get a bearish reaction. If it comes lower than expected, we usually get a bullish reaction. But there is nothing 100% in this market, okay? The market's going to do what it wants to do. As a trader, the most important thing to me as a trader is volatility. Can we get some tradable moves? And on CPI, yes, we usually get some very good tradable moves. Lots of big moves. For example, the October low back in October 13, that was a CPI day. December 13th, this big drop to the downside, that was a CPI day, okay? So, guys, you're either going to make a lot of money on these days or you're going to blow up your account. I am praying with all my heart and soul that you guys do not blow up your accounts. Okay? It's not good for none of us when people are losing, okay, in my opinion. So we got to know the levels, know the setup, so we can be ready to trade it, okay? 23.6 fib level was at 395.77. SPY went as high as 395.6, okay? Few cents off of it. So if this bull case, if this rally wants to continue, bull case scenario continues above 395.77, okay? It will continue above that. Look to long or continue holding your longs or calls, whatever you're in. My target would be the 200 daily moving average at 397.8-ish now. It could change by tomorrow, so definitely keep track of that. There's a gap around 399.3 to 400 zone, and we can test this trend line that started from January of last year. Okay, the test is at 401.4. Okay, 401.4. All right. So the bull case scenario continues above 395.77. Now with CPI tomorrow, if it decides to be bullish, we could get a bigger move and go and blow past 401.5. All right. So the next critical resistance that I'll be watching will be around 405 to 405.5 zone, 407, and a retest of the 410 to 410.5 zone. Okay, those were the highs back in December. All right. Bull case continues above 395.77, targeting the 200 daily moving average first, and then we have more upside targets with the gap fill and the trend line that started from last year. We got the bull case scenario down, guys. Let's play this unbiasedly. Now, speaking of unbiasedly, we have to keep in mind the bear case scenario. All right, so it's above my 395 level right now, just under the 23.6 fib level. I have support at 393.5-ish. Okay, if 393.5 fails, we go back and test 391.5-ish, and then that critical level at 390. All right, you guys see this yellow line? It's a critical level. If that fails, this breakout from Tuesday is a false breakout. Look for puts. And it's also a break back below the 50 daily moving average, which is around 390 as well. Okay, below 390, we can go back and test. I got a support at 388, but we can go back and test 386.6s to 385.8 zone, which is the breakout of that triangle pattern that we had. And below that would be very bearish. I would favor a test to go test 381. 381 is based on this trend line that has multiple tests, over 6 tests, 6 bounces off that level. I highly doubt the 7th one will hold, but we gotta be nimble just in case it does. Okay, but 381, below 381 would be extremely bearish, and I would favor a big massive leg down, multi-day sell-off if that level failed. Okay, guys, you guys got my bull case scenario. You guys got my bear case scenario. I am pleading with you guys, especially on CPI day. Don't mess around and find out. Okay, trade unbiasedly. P&L is the first responsibility for a trader. P&L. Don't trade with your ego. Don't worry about any of that. P&L, man. Get the green or keep your red as small as possible. All right, it's very important that we trade tomorrow unbiasedly. If your goal is to make money, be unbiased, because we're most likely gonna get a massive move. So I'm hoping you guys end green tomorrow, and I wish you guys luck. But my video's not over. Let's get to triple Q, okay? The triple Q is very bullish, okay? I mentioned to you guys, recapture this white trend line would be very bullish, and I'm hoping you guys listen to me, because the recapture was around 272. I said to stay bullish above 272. We got to pop up to 277.6s. I mentioned to you guys these levels. I'm praying you guys end in green today, because that was a very nice move. Okay? So with this breakout, this orange trend line, 275 must hold on any pullback. All right? If it breaks back below 275, we got a false breakout setup, guys. Look for puts. and that will put 273, 272 back in play. Below 272 would break back below the white trend line, putting 269, 267.5, and maybe we'll even drop down to 264 and 262.5. All right, so bear case scenario for triple Q starts below 275. As long as it holds, I recommend staying bull bias with 277.5 as the next support, 279, 281, and pop up to 383 and maybe test 284.8-ish, okay? Dow Jones. Stay bullish on the Dow Jones as long as it's below, above 337.5. Next critical resistance 340. Look to long if it clears, put in 343, 344.6s, 346.8, and 348-ish in play, okay? Now, if 337.5 fails tomorrow, get bearish. Next support is at 333.68. If that fails, definitely I would swing puts with 330.8, 328.5, and 325 back in play. Please add these levels to your charts if you are trading them. Tesla, we had a decent trade in Tesla in the Discord today. I mentioned to look for longs above 123.5. Wrote that in the Discord right here. Look to long above 123.5, putting 125 to 128 plus in play. And while it went as high as 125.95, gave us a decent level-to-level move, but, you know, not much follow through after that. Okay, so still did not close above 123.5. So for me to get more bullish on Tesla, I need to see it close above 123.5. All right, as long as below 123.5, I'm bear bias with 120, 117.5, 115, 113.5, 112, 110, and 108.5 in play, okay? You guys got my levels. And here's Apple. I mentioned to get bullish. If it recaptures 131.4, it managed to go test a previous pivot high around 133.5-ish. But I got the next critical resistance at 134.3-ish. If it can clear that, it could possibly go back and test 137.5 with 140 above that. Okay, now look for puts. If it drops back below 131.5, that will be a false breakout setup. Put 129, 126, 124, and 122.5-ish back in play. Okay, let's look at some inverses. And look at that. We had a breakdown of this triangle pattern yesterday. Here's the VIX recapturing it, okay? So as long as it stays above 20.9, the recapture is intact, and that puts 22 and 22.7 back in play with 23.5 and 25 above that, okay? For the VIX to get bearish again, or to look more bearish, it needs to drop back below 20.8, and maybe we'll go test 19.3 and 1895 as the next support, okay? DXY, looking overall bearish still to me. Green trend line right here. You see a double bottom or triple bottom, whatever here. And we broke it down Monday, and yesterday and today is testing that green trend line, which is at 103.4 as resistant. So as long as below, I'm bearish on DXY, okay? It needs to recapture 103.4 to look a little more bullish and, you know, put some upside targets in play at 104.3-ish. That will be the first one. Maybe 105.3-ish, okay? Let's end this with the option flow filter for 500K premiums or above, as usual. 78%, guys, mostly in the puts. All right, you guys can see all that red. You know, we're still seeing a lot of money, guys, going into puts. A lot of money, you know, for the next few months. All right, so these big money, they're betting to the downside in the coming months. You know, February, March, April. All right, you know, we see here some very out the money puts here. We got one in the money calls. That's not very aggressive in my opinion. Yeah, but you guys can see puts is a lot. Triple Q, 85% in the puts. All right, big money is betting their money to the downside, guys, as you guys can see. Okay, Tesla, 97% in the puts. All right, big orders of puts betting to the downside. Oh, are they expecting a recession or something? Goodness. 88% in puts for Apple. Holy moly. Let's look at the VIX. Is the VIX bullish? 100% in calls for the VIX, guys. I don't know how you guys want to take that information, but usually when the VIX is bullish, that's usually a sign that the SPY is bearish and big money is putting their money into calls right now. That's what the data is showing. All right, guys, I hope you guys found value in that. If you want more content from Uncle Charters, please consider joining my Discord. I would love to serve you guys and help you guys on this journey to becoming profitable, consistent, master traders. And I believe you can do it. All right. So thank you guys. Peace.